Hello folks, good morning. Can you guys hear me? Confirm me on the chat. Okay, so thank you. So I'm trading on US30 and you guys are here to watch how I trade, right? So I shared my daily bias with you all yesterday in a live stream if you were here, and I marked out our nearest pool of liquidity was on the buy side. Do you remember? It's the same chart. I didn't do anything. The edit that you saw me on doing live yesterday, it's the same thing. So I marked the red line. If you remember, it was on 60-minute chart, the equal highs above the fair value gap, and ultimately we have our buy side liquidity up there on the daily chart, right? We marked it from the weekly chart if you remember. Okay, so let's go on the hourly chart. I'm not gonna take you in a brief conversation of bias because I already did that yesterday. So what I'm looking at is this fair value gap. Price is inside of this fair value gap, and yesterday I told you guys. Okay, some of you are having problem with the volume. Okay, let me raise the volume. Is it okay now? It's the volume is on max right now. Okay, so I marked the fair value gap that you see here, and I told you guys price closed a candle's body above the 50% of the fair value gap, right? Do you guys remember? Yeah, and I told you as price closed the candle's body above the 50% of the fair value gap, we may expand higher and seek more of the buy side liquidity and clear out this equal high, and then ultimately this buy side liquidity that you see up here. Okay, so that was our whole trade plan since yesterday. Okay, so yesterday when I shared my bias with you all, price was above the 50% level of this fair value gap, right? So that's how you know when price is gonna expand higher or expand lower. Do you remember that? The analysis that I shared with you all? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the 15-minute equal low. Okay, so when you measure the fair value gap and you see price closing a candle's body above the midway level of the fair value gap, then you know, like you can be certain price will seek higher level of liquidity. Not it won't go lower. For price to go lower, we need a candle's body closure below the 0.5 level, below the midway level, but it didn't happen. So we are seeking buy side liquidity, and our nearest level of target is this red line and then this black line. So these two are our equal highs. Okay, so now let's go to 5-minute chart. I'm not talking about Bitcoin or any other pair. I'm only gonna talk about US30. Okay, if you are asking about any other pair, you're gonna get blocked. That's how it is. So that's what I'm seeing here. These clean level of liquidities that you see, price generated equal lows overnight. This equal low price generated at 1 o'clock, and price didn't take it out at London session. These equal lows. So I'm targeting these equal lows. And what I'm looking at right now is, do you see this equal high right here? Let me make the text a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm looking at this equal high, and I'm waiting for my 820 to 830 macro to get activated. And the blue shaded area that you see, it's our 15-minute breaker block for now. Okay, if price is expanding higher, then this breaker block is not gonna be valid anymore. Echo, stop. Okay, so let's go on US 500. The equal high that you saw on US 30, that was a SMT divergence with US 500. Do you see here? US 500 created a swing low, then went up, took the swing high, right? It did a stop hunt. And then what, these down close candles becomes our breaker block, right? So that's what you are seeing right now. It's because of US 500, but I'm not gonna take this trade. Why? Because time is not aligned. Okay, other than my zones, I see price manipulating a lot. So I'm only gonna execute in 820 to 830 in between that time. So if price is rejecting from this breaker block, where it might can go. So this imbalance, this fair value gap that you see right here, can be the easiest target. Okay, so this fair value gap that you see right here, and after the price can come down here, then we ultimately have relatively equal lows matched with US30, right? These are the equal lows on US30 and on US 500 or S&P 500 or ES, whatever you tell it, it's the same logic, okay? So these are our equal lows, these are our clean levels. And what do you see here? Price rejecting from this breaker block, right? Price created a swing high, came down, did a stop hunt, closed the candle's body below the breaker block, price retraced, and now we are seeing a clean rejection. Okay, and price also has targets. It's not like we are only looking at a breaker block and we don't have a target. No, we have a fair value gap right here that is not filled yet, right? So we can target this fair value gap and this swing low. Sorry, I'm saying target. I'm not gonna tell you to take a trade. We are tape reading here, okay? I'm outlining the setups for you, and we are looking at how price reacts from this setup. Okay, so if you measure the breaker block, right? I get a lot of questions like, how do you know a breaker block is a valid breaker block, or when should I avoid trading a breaker block? It's easy. You just measure the breaker block, the whole breaker block, and if you see a price closing a candle's body above the midway, what is the midway? 0.5 level. Okay, if price is closing a candle's body above the midway, then you know that's not a valid trade idea. Your trade idea is most probably wrong. Other than that, as long as price is not closing a candle's body above the midway, you can be certain that price will remain heavy towards the sell side. Is it clear? Okay, thank you for replying. Okay, so that's what I'm looking here. But on US30, we have our clean targets. Remember I shared with you all, these is our clean target. So I'm looking for price to take these levels up. Okay, so I don't know when it's gonna do that. That's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my 820 to 830 macro. So now a lot of you are gonna be asking me, Hydra, you can see a setup on US 500. Why are you not taking it? That's how you build your patience. Okay, in trading, it's all free, right? But it requires patience. Okay, today today you can see a clean setup, but other days it's really choppy in between this time period. So if you are taking a trade today, what you are gonna be doing tomorrow, you are gonna be coming here and we're gonna be asking, okay, I took a trade yesterday, now in today is a choppy price action, but I still can take a trade. Then where is your patience? You're not patient, right? And every successful trader that you see, they are very patient with their trading plan. Me, I'm trading like almost every day, but the folks that are making millions, they're not trading every day. So that's the secret, okay? If you don't get it, then you won't make it. It's gonna be very hard for you. You will go through a lot of struggle period. On US30, it's very choppy. What US30 is doing, US30 didn't take out the equal high or the swing high. Otherwise, we would have seen a breaker block right here. Okay, let's go on US 500 until US 30 gets clear. I'm not looking at US 30. I'm just waiting patiently. And what do you see here on US 500? That's a breaker block setup. Okay, unknown legend. He is asking what kind of setup it is. If you don't know what kind of setup it is, you should not be here. Go do something else. So that's a breaker block. Okay, that's a basic concept of breaker block. And it's a very clean setup on US 500. I'm surprised. Right, you can see the target. Okay, if you know what ICT tells us, price will only target liquidity or imbalance, right? So where is our liquidity? Liquidity is down here. That's our sell side liquidity. Let me mark it for you. Some of you are new here, but if you were asking me what kind of setup is it, then it's no good, you know. I'm not educating any beginners here. I'm not teaching you anything here. I'm only repeating what I already learned. Okay, in this live session, Unknown Legend, I'm marking out the setups for you, but I'm not gonna tell you to take the trade. We are doing a tape reading. If you are a ICT trader, you know what a tape reading is, right? We sit patiently, we show the market that we are patient, and we look for a setup. That's how we build our skill, okay? So that's what we are doing here, right here. So that's a very clean setup. Like, wow. Let's see what Nasdaq doing. US 100. Wow. Look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq offered sell side liquidity a lot, right? What is clearing the equal lows? Okay, let's go on the 15-minute chart. Let's see what it's doing. Okay, so Nasdaq has a gap that is unfilled, right? It's our new week opening gap. And price didn't even went to fill the midway. And on Nasdaq, price is clearing the equal lows, where we saw that on US 30 and US 500 price is nowhere near to the equal lows, right? But do you can I see a breaker block set up here? Let's see. No, not for the moment. Price generated SMT. These highs that you see right here, these are SMT. Okay, so that's the high, right? If you go on US 500, look at the highs. That's the SMT, right? US 100. So what do you see? Price is rejecting off to the fair value gap that I told you guys. Like the way I trade, I do not like just sit down and target sell side liquidity down below. No, I will take partial. Where will I take partial? In this imbalance. Okay? Because always remember, price is either going to feel the imbalance or liquidity. So we take partial in imbalance, and then we TP, take profit in the liquidity levels, like in the sell side liquidity right here. So on Nasdaq, on US 100, price cleared the equal lows right here, but on US 500, you can see we still have this imbalance to fill, and time is now 8:10. Let's see what happens before our macro zone. I'm very cautious today because it's Monday. Okay, it's a new week, and let's see if I don't see a clean like 90% a setup with 90% confirmation, then I'm not gonna take any trade today. Live trade, that's what I mean. Yeah, Josh, me too. I don't like the time. If it was on like 8:20 to 8:30, I would have taken the trade. Okay, but because of the time, like you have to show market that you are patient. That's what it's asking from you. What time frame breaker block is valid in your opinion for macros? Okay, so I'm a scalper, so I'm only scalping on 1 minute and 3 minute, right? So for me, it depends on it's not like you will see a breaker block on 3 minute, then you will trust it. No, you have to have a higher time frame narrative. If you watch me on US30, the blue shaded area that you see, it's a 15-minute breaker block. Okay, so how am I thinking? I'm thinking with time. Okay, 8:20 to 8:30, what price can do? Price can go down to this breaker block as we have an equal low right here, and if price closes a candle's body below the breaker block, then I can engage. So that's why I outlined this blue shaded area. So this breaker block is on 5 minute, right? But the whole narrative of this breaker block came from where? 15-minute higher time frame. If you were lazy to look at higher time frame, okay, you won't make it. So there are certain rules for traders. You have to rely on higher time frame. Without higher time frame narrative, a narrative on a smaller time frame, it doesn't matter how good of a trader you are. If you don't know where the higher time frame liquidity is, if you don't know how to see that, price any kind of setup will not work for you. Okay, it doesn't matter. So that's our 15-minute breaker block. I outlined it from 15 minutes. If I take you on 3-minute chart, okay, in 3 minutes it's very choppy, right? We can see a swing low, and then there's a swing high that created that cleared the buy stop, sorry, the sell stop from here, right? So price did a stop hunt. If you look on 3-minute chart, it's not clear, but on 15-minute chart, you can see the breaker block. Do you see it? Yeah. So that's how you mark a breaker block from higher time frame. Why am I using 3 candles for breaker block? Because that's the midway of the breaker block. If price is closing a candle's body above the breaker block, above the midway of the breaker block, then I'm not gonna take that trade. Okay, so that's the reason why I only mark till the midway of a breaker block. Okay, so this, let me talk a little bit more about this. This is our breaker block, right? So these whole consecutive down close candles, what the hell? Okay, so this whole consecutive down close candles are a breaker block, but I'm not gonna mark that. If I enter as soon as price closes the candle's body below, and I put my stop loss up here, that's a lot of risk to me, right? So I found a way. The way is you measure the breaker block. Okay, it comes with experience. You are not experienced with breaker block. So the reason is I'm marking only till the middle is because if price is closing a candle's body above the midway level of breaker block, like you can see, price is coming down right now, right? And price closed the candle's body below the 0.5 level of breaker block. So what it is, as soon as price is closing a candle's body below the midway, we can expect to see price remaining heavy towards the sell side. Why? Because we have a relative equal lows down here. Without a target, your analysis is not valid, okay? You have to have a narrative. You have to see where price is going. Do you see what I'm telling you? Do you understand? Well, that's the easiest language for me to discuss. Other than that, I don't know how to say it. And you saw a whole breaker block setup deliver very nicely, right, on S&P 500. Don't look at US 100. The pair that is choppy, avoid that. Okay, the pair that is clear, US 500 and US 30, look at that pair. So price came down to the imbalance, right? Price filled the fair value gap. Price tapped into our sell side liquidity as I outlined. Where did I outline this setup? Right when price was just hitting the breaker block. If you, it's all live. If you go back, then you will see. Okay, I'm not flexing on you. I'm telling you how to trust your analysis. Okay, I'm telling you how a breaker block is gets valid as long as price is not closing a candle body above the breaker block. That's a secret, right? No one other than me told you that before. Like measure the breaker block and then see if price is closing a candle body above the breaker block. But our mentor did, right? That's how I learned. I didn't discover it. I learned it from my mentor. So that's what I'm telling you. So price delivered till this sell side liquidity. So this sell side liquidity is internal sell side liquidity. Those of you who are confused what internal liquidity is, right? A lot of you are new here and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna tell you what internal liquidity is. Internal liquidity is inside of a big range, inside of a big main move. Okay, so that's what you see here. This swing, the swing point that you see, that price lag offered buy side liquidity, right? And the new price lag that you were seeing here is offering what? Sell side liquidity, right? So that's a opposite thing. Price did offered buy side liquidity. If price was continuing offering buy side liquidity, then it wouldn't have been a internal range liquidity, right? We would have been an external range liquidity, because this price lag is inside of this big range. That's why we are marking it as internal. If you wanna if you want to know more about internal range liquidity, you can go on my mentor's channel, Inner Circle Trader, and you can look on the core content. Okay, and you will find he's talking about internal range liquidity. Or if you go on the 2023 mentorship, you'll see our mentor mentioning about internal external range liquidity. So it's not like you just watch a ICT video and you start trading. No, you do a lot of tape reading. That's how you build your patience. Okay, when I started learning ICT for like 6-7 months, I tried to do a funded challenge like when I started ICT. Then I failed. Then I lost the challenge. Then I blew up another live account. And after that, I told myself like I'm not gonna push any button on live until I become consistent on demo. So for like 6-7 months, I was only practicing on demo. Okay, I was only looking at the setup, barely pushing the button. Why am I telling you not to push the button? Because if you push the button, what the things that you will do on what demo account, those same thing will repeat on your live account. Okay, so we are near to our 820 to 830 macro, right? And I marked out the 15-minute breaker block, right? So we want to see, we still have an equal high right here. I don't like that. I don't want to see this equal high remain intact. Let's see what price does. Do we have a high impact news? Let's see if we have a high impact news. Today is April 3rd. We have a high impact news. Wow, at 10 and 10:30. What is it? PMI? PMI? I don't care about PMI. We can trade PMI. PMI is bullshit. If it was like CPI, I wouldn't have opened the live session today. Okay, like CPI is very volatile. You can see where price is going, but you will never be able to execute on that. So price is doing what it's doing. But we have relative equal lows down below, right? We have a sell side liquidity right here, right? This is a swing low. And we have a bigger target right here, this equal low, sell side liquidity. This level is very, very clean. So I'm looking at this level down below. Let's see what US 500 is doing. Okay, US 500 became choppy right now. It's on 3 minute. So after we feel the internal sell side liquidity, we are just stopping, right? So that's the very reason I target the nearest level of liquidity. Okay, because there's a higher level of chance price will deliver the nearest liquidity, even if you are wrong, even if you are wrong on your bias. Okay, for us, our bias is what? Our bias is bullish. We want to see those daily relative equal highs to get taken out, right? But we can execute targeting nearest small targets. This is a small target. This is not a small target. Why am I saying it is a small target? Let me measure the trade. If you were executing on this retracement, and if you are putting your stop loss above the breaker block, suppose you don't want to get aggressive, and you are targeting this internal sell side liquidity 2R, perfect 2R. Someone from chat like always saying your breaker block setup barely gives 1R, 1 to 5R. That bro is like don't know how to trade. That's a 2R setup, right? Lux is asking, are you still bearish to get to lower sell side liquidity, and if so, entry on order block? I'm not gonna enter on order block. I'm not gonna enter on fair value gap. I'm only gonna execute. Okay, I'm not gonna execute on in front of you. I'm only gonna mark out the setup, and if you know what to do, then you can do what you wanna do. Okay, but I'm not gonna execute on order block, fair value gap, whatever. I'm only gonna execute on breaker block. That's the only setup I trade. Do you see me marking out a fair value gap for you here? Other than this target, no. So I'm waiting for a candle's body closure below this breaker block, below this 15-minute breaker block. And we have our equal lows. You are executing on US30. Let's see. I don't like this equal high right here. So I'll be more cautious than I'm usually on a regular session. So that's, we are inside of our macro zone, right? 820 to 830. So that's at 830, New York liquidity injection comes. Price will suddenly become volatile for 5 minutes. Okay, so that's the reason I say if you miss a setup between 820 to 830, you do not execute after 835. Why? Because price is volatile for 10 minutes. After that, it's gonna manipulate. Do you trade Forex? No, I don't trade Forex. I only trade US30. US30, US 100, US 500. But I'm barely executing on other pairs. Mostly like 99% of my trades are on US30. The equal high is concerning to me. I'm wondering if Judah swing could take it out and we go lower. Yeah, that's what I'm also looking at. Like, let's see what price does. Price came back up, and if price is closing a candle's body above the midway of this breaker block, right? We can expect to see price going up something like this. Okay, so let's see what price does. Okay, so with ICT concept, you know what price is gonna do. Price leaves signs, and I'm showing it to you live. It's happening, printing live. I did it on Telegram. I shared the screenshot, but it doesn't feel that good, right? When you see it in front of you happening, then you trust it more than ever. Reasons why you choose US30 to trade. Okay, before I found ICT, when I was a retail trader, I was trading with Ichimoku Cloud. Okay, chat, let me know if anyone from chat ever traded with Ichimoku Cloud. Let me know before our macro gets activated. It's 8:25. Okay, XLR traded with Ichimoku, yeah. That was so like choppy Ichimoku Cloud. I never knew like how people see it. How people see their trade idea. So with Ichimoku, like let's see what Ichimoku is telling us, right? I have not traded with Ichimoku for a long time. It's like years. Now let's see what Ichimoku is telling us. An indicator. ICT traders hate indicator. So what do you see here? I don't see anything with Ichimoku Cloud. Let's hide my drawings. What? So with Ichimoku, I still remember how I was learning. So there's like three lines that you see. So for short, though, these three lines will have to cross over, and then this cloud that you see, it will have to turn red, right? So, but it's very choppy here. Our analysis, our drawing is way more clear than this, right? This Ichimoku cloud. So did price crossed its lines? Yes, it did multiple times. Right? How a retail trader trades with a indicator, I never know. But on cloud, we can see it's turning red, right? Okay, so no more ICT trading. We are only gonna trade with Ichimoku. You are here to learn Ichimoku. It's a bullshit. Indicator is a bullshit. That's the real indicator that you're seeing right here. You don't need a Ichimoku and then EMA, whatever the hell that is. You don't need anything. Do you see any indicator here? I have 4 indicators on my chart. And the first one is to show the Hydra sign. Then the SMT divergence, I rarely use it. It gives me false signals. When there's a SMT, it doesn't show me. And when there's no SMT, it shows me. And there's this new week opening gap, new day opening gap from Kryptonite. Okay, and there's another SMT divergence indicator. So I use only 3 indicators. These are not really indicator, right? Okay, so the question was why I only trade US30. Because I started my trading journey with US30, and when I found ICT, I heard him saying if you are trading any other pair than S&P 500, then you can stick with it. It doesn't matter, like I'm your mentor, then I'm trading on ES. You have to trade on ES. He always says his concept work on every pair, right? So let's talk about chart. I'm talking about bullshit. Okay, so price closed the candle's body above the midway and price is expanding higher. We have a mitigation block. Okay, let me I don't like to mark these levels. You know, when I'm trading alone, I don't even mark the zones. It's all clear. We have a mitigation block right here, but we don't want to see this price rejecting off from this mitigation block, right? Right? We don't want to see that. What we want to see, price going up and taking out the liquidity. It's gonna be 8:30 very soon, and we don't see a clean setup here, right? Price did not presented a clean setup, so I'm not gonna take any trade at 8:30. I'm gonna wait for 9:20 to 9:30 macro to get activated. Okay. Are you doing live on next macro? Let's see. Let's see. It depends on the price, right? If price is clear, then I might do the live session. If I cannot show you a setup on live, then what's the point of live, right? Can you provide a bit more details on breaker block? It's on ICT's channel. I don't teach you anything that's beginner level, I can share with you a macro indicator I developed for our validation. Okay, so Cognito, yeah, you can share it with me on Telegram. I'll check it out if it matches with my time, like the way I trade with my macro, then yeah, I can use it. Just send me your TV user. You can find it on the link section on my YouTube. It's there. So price is rejecting from this mitigation block. Why? Is price manipulating? Chat, let me know. We can see a fair value gap right here, right? And it's aligned with the fair value gap next to it. So we can expect to see something like this. We are not placing any trade. Don't push the button. You are tape reading with me. Okay, something like this. Let's see what price does. I'm confident that price will go higher because we closed the candle's body above the midway, right? So let's see what happens. Which month core content you like most? Okay, that's an interesting question. Month 4. Month 4 because that's when ICT talks about breaker block. Other than that, I don't really care, you know. Breaker block is the main knowledge for me. Other than that, everything else is like extra confirmation. Okay, you can see like I can see a fair value gap and I know when a fair value gap gonna activate, but I'm not gonna take the trade. I'm myself a developing student. Okay, I'm not your mentor. So I have to build patience in me, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm building patience. I'm only taking trade with a breaker block. I'm listening to my mentor. My mentor tells me to do what? When price is choppy, do tape reading. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so we are not seeing price rejecting off from this from this mitigation block. Price is aggressive towards the upside, right? Wow. Let's see if 920 to 930 setup, 920 to 930 macro offers us any setup. I really appreciate you stepping out like you are very brave. XLR, thank you, bro. So like to me, I do the same thing on with my live analysis every day, right? And I share with you all. So what's the problem of doing the thing that I do live? But the problem is some of you are gonna execute, okay? So that's the thing. Like when you execute and make a loss, and I'm not telling you to execute, then you will come here and complain, and then you will get blocked. Ichimoku is mainly to situate a range. Don't give me any trade idea about Ichimoku. How do you see anything in Ichimoku? Okay, I got a very good question from Unknown Legend. Which is stronger mitigation versus breaker block? If there's no equal high above a breaker block or mitigation block, that's a strong mitigation or breaker block. If you see a equal high, okay, then you can be certain like price generated equal high as buy side liquidity, right? So price might want to come up and take out the liquidity that is resting above the equal highs. Hello Hydra, for where do you not use the fair value gap? Because some ICT students use that. Yeah, I know some ICT students use that, but does that mean I have to use it? That's my own model, okay? The model that I outlined to you here, that's my model. Why am I gonna trade what other ICT students are trading? Why you are gonna trade what I'm trading? You should find your own model, right? Do we need to go through all month of core content? I'm at 5, yes. You need to go through all month of core content and you need to, every time you finish watching a video, you should come to the live chart and you should watch. We should look for the same thing that you learned, okay? Unless you do that, unless you are lazy, if you are lazy, you won't make it. Ba, okay? I'm talking to Ba. if you are lazy and if you are only watching ICT videos like Netflix, it don't work for you. Okay, so what do we see? This mitigation block failed. And what do you see price doing? Just like I outlined, right? Do you remember? This fair value gap, it's a BPR. It's a balanced price range. Okay? It's not like I'm only trading with breaker block and I don't know about other ICT concept. Right? Like breaker block, like BPR, reclaimed fair value gap. So that's a reclaimed fair value gap. Why it's a reclaimed fair value gap? Do you see the fair value gap right here? Right? It matches with our new fair value gap in this candle. Right? Okay, so it's 835, and where's the volatility? Oh my god, it's not volatile. Okay, so at 9:30, what I want to see at 9:20 to 9:30, let's talk about chart. I'm talking about bullshit. So I want to see price doing something like this at 9:30. Okay, price generated equal lows. Do you see this swing low right here? This is a swing low. We have another swing low right here, right? So these lows are relatively equal. And what do we have here? A big swing low, right? A big equal low. So let's see what price does. Okay, let's look at US 100 and then let's look at dollar. Okay, at US 100 price got support from this fair value gap. Okay, do you see I did not told you to target till here when price did hit this breaker block, right? Why I didn't tell you to target this? I told you to target this, right? Internal sell side liquidity and then imbalance. Do you remember? Chat, let me know if you remember me saying to target this internal sell side liquidity. How many people are watching this live? 226. Wow. And it's my first live session. Okay, yes. And price is now doing what? Rejecting from it. That's what you want to see in an ICT student, right? Precision. What ICT always tells us, we get in just as market is about to rise and we get out just as when my market is about to fall. Vice versa for short, okay? So let's look at dollar. Wow, dollar is coming down. Okay, I should have talked about dollar when I started streaming. Do you see the relative equal lows right here? Okay, it's the same logic again and again. I don't know why some people make it confused like short-term low, long-term low. Why, bro? Just say the equal low and then say it is a strong liquidity and a weak liquidity, right? That sounds simple. A equal low is a strong sell-side liquidity, okay? And that's a short-term low, but don't confuse your head with some ICT student I see like they're marking their swing high and lows as short-term high, long-term high, short-term low, long-term low. Why? Just say it is low, right? That's a equal low. What I want to see in DXY in dollar something like this. Okay, why? Because our idea will have to match with US30. US30 we are looking for shorts on US30, right? So what do we want to see on dollar to go up, to push higher? Wow, I'm sharing a lot of knowledge for free. That's like a combo pack. You are looking at US30, you are also getting analysis on US 500, then you are also getting analysis on US 100. Okay, if you are asking me about any other pair, bro, I'm gonna block you. I'm not trading on crypto. Why are you asking me about crypto and then Forex? Who is asking me about Forex? Let me block you. We don't do Forex here. Forex is choppy. Look at Euro USD. Do you see anything clean here? What is this? This is all bullshit. It's always choppy. Whenever I look at it, It's always consolidating. Okay, it's not my pair, bro. My pair is US30. My pair is stock, okay? Stock is volatility is what I need. Okay, we outlined what we want to see in price, right? Okay, so we have a fair value gap right here. Let me mark it out for you. And if we are, if this equal high is our target, then we want to see this fair value gap support our trade idea towards the upside, right? We don't want to see price rejecting off from this fair value gap. Let's measure it. You are lazy, but not me. I'm gonna measure every fair value gap, every breaker block, and I'm gonna see how price reacts to it. I get it. You are lazy, but I'm not. Look how price is rejecting from this midway level. Okay. So if price is rejecting, then I want to see this fair value gap support price again. If we are rejecting, if this fair value gap does not support our trade idea, I will not take a trade at 920 to 930 because I want to see this equal high getting taken out. EU is clean between 2 a.m. and 5 p.m. I had a good morning on EU today, but I trade US30 more. Chad, I think you don't understand. I don't want to listen anything about Forex. I hate Forex. Don't do that. What about consequent encroachment of the down candle? What down candle? What down candle? I don't know what you were saying. Rip zone. Okay, so price. Do you see? That's how we improve. Okay, price closed a candle's body above the midway of this fair value gap. It doesn't matter if it's a small fair value gap or if it's a big fair value gap. You measure the fair value gap and then you look for the reaction. Price closed the candle's body. So what do we want to see? We want to see price remain heavy towards buy side, right? I shared on my Twitter a lot of contents talking about the same thing. People like it. You will see on my post like 600 likes. But when I see the details, only 100 people read it. Okay, thousands of likes, only 100 read it. Why? I'm sharing it to you to read it. Jamie, right? Glad I found someone I completely understand. Was tired of other person talking in ways not even ICT talks, in just making things overly complicated for no reason. Yeah, I don't get it, bro. In my chart, do you see me doing anything else? I'm marking the breaker block. I'm waiting for patiently only for one setup. That's what our mentor tells you. Tells you, right? Okay, so I wanna make another confusion go away from you guys. I'm not your mentor. Okay, I'm just a student of ICT. If you are texting me about please teach me, please teach me how to learn ICT, you are gonna get blocked. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm still a developing student. I'm not your mentor. Other people, they are pretending to be your mentor, right? So that's why they, if someone is pretending to be a mentor, he have to do something unique, right? To be unique. But I don't want to be unique. I want to be just like my mentor. I want to be like my mentor ICT. I want to be like Michael. Other than that, if you are here to be like me, get the fuck out of here. We all want to be just like our mentor. Have you backtested ICT silver bullet? I don't care about silver bullet. I found my model. That's my model. My model gives me more than 5 handles. If you are looking for 5 handles, okay, a breaker block can be a very good setup. I'm telling you, breaker block gives at least 2 hour. So now match it with what match it with 5 handles. In a 2 hour, there's more than 5 handles, right? Does equal highs have to be on point, like two candles to the T? Asking Punjabi Slayer. No, it does not have to be relatively equal. Like, do you see, what do you see here? These two swing low right here, right? These two swing low are not relatively close, but they are relative equal lows. Okay, because this, if price is coming down, it's a general knowledge. You wanna see price taking out this equal low, right? But it's not taking out this equal low. What it's doing is generating another equal low below it, and the retails see it as a support, right? If you ever traded with retail stuff, you know they, when price creates a double bottom, triple bottom, they see it as support. And what we do as ICT traders, we target. Okay, okay, let's stop talking and let's see what price is doing. Price just took out a swing high right here. I still wanna see, please, please, I wanna see this equal high getting taken out. Let's see what price shows us. Okay, don't we don't wanna we don't wanna be aggressive. We don't wanna push or force a trade idea. What we see on US 500. On US 500, the same fair value gap. Let's mark this fair value gap. That's a fair value gap. Okay, let me type the zones. Breaker, BREAK, breaker block. Okay, so that's a breaker block, right? We got a support. We got price rejecting off from this fair value gap, this breaker block once. Now let's see if price is taking out this buy side liquidity from here. I'm happy. But what do you see here? Price is rejecting, price is closing a candle's body below the midway of this fair value gap, right? I don't want to see that. I want to see price expand higher, right? We want to see price expand higher. But what is price doing here? No, don't close the candle's body below the midway. Don't do that. Expand higher. You said you have price limit of 50% of breaker block for validating breaker block. My question is, do you have a time limit for trading breaker block? Yes. I only execute in 4 different macros, 820 to 830, and today at 820 to 830 price did not do anything. There was no clean setup. Then my second macro is at 920 to 930, then the third one 950 to 1010, and the last one 1050 to 1110. Price will trade lower. Who is that? Son of ICT trader. Wow, we got the son of ICT here. Bro, I'm jealous of you, you know. You are sitting in front of ICT every day and then you are trading. I wish ICT was in front of me, you know. You don't trade the PM session? Then no, I don't trade the PM session. Okay, so that's the time when you should avoid trading. 8 after 8:35. If you miss a setup on 8:30, you should stop. You should not push a button until 9:20. So let's mark the zone. Okay, so that's the zone. 8:20, after 8:35 till 9:20, we do not push any button. And today you will see it live. Why I say to you, do not to push a button. Price will manipulate. Okay, price will become choppy. Here, did you saw price how clean price was, right? Okay, let me revise the memory. I told you what I wanna see before it happened. I told you I wanna see price getting support from this fair value gap, and before that I took you on US 500. I gave you actually two signals, right? This whole move on US 500, and then this up move on US 30, right? Chat, did anyone took this trade? Let me know on the chat, and then you can get blocked. Economic news at 10 a.m. Yes. So let's see what price does at 9:20 to 9:30. It's getting boring. That's why I'm scared of live session, like in between the time when price is not volatile and price is manipulating, you have to talk a lot. Wow, no. Why S&P? That's the very reason I don't like to trade US 500. You see here, price rejecting from the fair value gap. Okay, so we have another fair value gap right here. Do you see it? I don't know if you guys are seeing it because I'm zooming it as much as I can. Okay, I'm measuring this fair value gap. That's a BC. Okay, so I get a lot of question about what is a BC and then what is a CV. What is a BC? Chat, let me know in the chat section. What is BC and what it does? It's the same as fair value gap, right? Let me know. Yes, unknown legend, bro. You are a legend. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So let's talk about buy side imbalance. Let's go on. Let's talk about why ICT says it's a buy side imbalance and sell side inefficiency. Okay, a BC that you see, that's a BC right here, right? That's a plus fair value gap. Why it's a BC? Because we want to see price supporting towards upside, and price did that, right? But why that's why ICT says it's at buy side imbalance, because it's gonna offer buy side liquidity. And why it's a sell side inefficiency? When price is coming down, right? When price takes out our liquidity from the zone that I told you, I don't want to see price getting support from this fair value gap again. Okay, I don't want to see that. That's why it's efficient in buy side and it's inefficient towards sell side. If it's supporting again, okay, that's what I don't want to see. A fair value gap should support price in both ways, buy side, sell side. But the question is, how will you know that it's gonna support towards buy side, and how will you know it's gonna support towards sell side? You measure the fair value gap, you see how price is closing its candle's body. Okay, I'm sharing a lot of tips with you today. I hope you guys appreciate it. If you do, I'm expecting a thumbs up. Okay, a lot of people are watching. 249. If you are appreciating the knowledge that you are getting from this live, please thumbs up. Okay, show your support. Until then, I'm not gonna share any new knowledge. Okay, so we crossed 100. So let's talk about when you know a fair value gap is a valid fair value gap, and how. Okay, so the question is like, how am I gonna know this fair value gap will support price toward buy side or support reject price toward sell side? You measure the fair value gap and you see how price is closing its candle's body, right? What did price did here? We have a CB right here, right? Let me take everything out. I don't want to leave any confusion, okay? I don't want to see questions after I end my live session. That's a fair value gap towards what? Sell side. But what did I tell you? I don't want to see price rejecting from this fair value gap. It's all live, okay? I'm not saying like two things. I'm only saying to you one thing, and that's what you are seeing happening, right? You have to have a logic, and then you measure the fair value gap, right? And you see how price is closing its candle's body. If price is closing its candle's body below the midway, below the 0.5 level, then you can expect to see price remain heavy towards sell side and target these equal lows right here. But what did you see here? Price closed the candle's body above the fair value gap, above the midway and above the fair value gap. So what do we expect? Price to expand higher, right? Price to remain heavy towards sell side. Until when? I'm also telling you until when I want to see price volatile, until these equal highs are getting taken out. That's the benefit of breaker block, you know. Like you wait for it and it matches with the time. As soon as price is taking out this equal high and I'm seeing a breaker block, I'm gonna take a trade. But until then, not in front of you. I'm gonna outline the breaker block just like this. But let's see what price does. Price took a swing high right here, right? So we need a breaker block right now for price to generate. We don't have a breaker block yet. So what I want to see price to do, something like this. Price came down, create a swing low, right? For a breaker block, we need a swing low with down close candles, right? So I want to see price do something like this. But I don't want to see price coming all the way down and filling this fair value gap and going down. No. Let's measure the premium to discount, right? You want to see how I use my Fibonacci? That's how I use my Fibonacci. Wait. Fib. I don't need a lot of labels. Okay, I'm not talking about standard deviation projection. If I see a trade idea, then I'll talk about it. So we are in a premium zone. And, okay, we have a fair value gap. See, I'm talking and I didn't see that. That's a fair value gap. Price got support from this fair value gap. We want to see price remain heavy. But where is our breaker block? I need a breaker block. Price is not showing me a breaker block yet. Okay, let's wait. It's only 8:56. We still have 20 more minutes. What is US 500 doing? US 500 got support from this fair value gap, right? And it's doing the thing that I told you guys. I don't want to see it expanding higher than this breaker block, right? Price already offered buy side liquidity here. Is it a relative equal high? No, it's not. Okay, so let's see what price does. Okay, nothing is certain yet. Don't push the button. That's IOFED support. Yes. Thank you. Who is that? Unknown legend. Yes, that's the IOFED, institutional order flow entry drill. How do you know it's an institutional order flow entry drill? When price just taps into a fair value gap and moves aggressively. Okay? Like that's the IOFED. Let me mark it for you. IOFED. I should talk less and mark more, you know. Institutional order flow entry drill. Okay, I'm not good at spelling because English is not my native language, so I'm not gonna try type the whole thing. Just know that it's institutional order flow entry drill. When price does that, you know that there's big funds in your trade, with your trade. Okay, you are trading with big, large institutional fund. When price does that, ICT tells us that's when you know your trade idea is correct. You're going in the right way because you are trading with the central bank, the bank. We have a new breaker on 5 minutes. Let's see. Let's see on 5 minutes. We have a breaker block. We have a breaker block right here. But it's not valid yet. Do you see the time when I'm telling you not to trade from 8:35 to 9:20? What do you see here? Is price doing anything significant? No, price is just manipulating, right? Let's go on 1 minute chart. I'm an ICT trader and I'm not looking at 1 minute. Wow. So what do you see here? 8:35. Let's mark out the zone. From 8:35 till 9:20, we will not push any button. That's the time zone, right? 8:20 to 8:35. What do you see? Price is manipulating, chopping around, is waiting for 9:20 to 9:30 volatility, and we have a high impact news, right? PMI. Should I trade PMI? No, I think no, right? Let's see. If price presenting a setup, then I'm trading. It doesn't matter to me if it's a PMI or whatever. I can trade PMI. ICT tells like you can trade PMI. PMI is tradable, but CPI, NFP, and like other high impact news is not tradable. But if you are new, you should not be trading on even on PMI because you are new, you know. So I think price is generating a breaker block for us, right? Do you remember I told you I want to see price doing something like this? So for a breaker block, we need down close candles, and we have equal highs. Wow. So do you see how price does everything with logic? That's a relative equal high, right? Now I'm more certain that I want to see price coming up, taking out the liquidity, and then coming down. Wow, unknown legend is ripping the chat, bro. You know a lot of stuff, you know. Are you trading live, unknown legend, or you are still learning? Okay, so what am I looking at here? I don't want to. Let's look at dollar. What is dollar doing? Dollar, dollar, dollar. Dixie. Dixie's nearest level of liquidity is right here, right? And let's see what price does. To be honest, I don't like the price action. This price action on dollar, right? But let's see what it does. Our idea is still valid. Where is the new week opening gap? Let's see where's the new week opening gap on dollar. There's no new week opening gap on dollar. Really? What? My indicator is not working. I see a gap here. Is it a new week opening gap? Monday, 27 March. Anyway, uh, so the liquidity, the nearest draw on liquidity on dollar is these relative equal lows. Simple logic, folks. Simple logic of liquidity. Simple logic that you will target the cleanest level. Draw on liquidity. You don't need to know what is a short-term low, short-term high, long-term high. So it's all noise to me. Liquidity. Okay. So our nearest draw on liquidity is on here. Okay, so on dollar price is dropping. Let's look at US30, what price is doing. Why price is dropping? Price is manipulating, you know. Price should be against dollar, but when you see dollar, the thing dollar is doing and the US30 is doing, and you are not experienced, you should avoid trading that session, you know. I don't trust this breaker block. I will not mark it out. What I want to see price going up, clearing this equal high, okay, and then we can look for a trade idea. Something like this. I don't want to see this equal high remain intact. I don't like that. Unknown legend funded. Wow, it's something get lost in TVC. What is PMI? A PMI is a high impact news. Okay, is my audio and my stream is clear? Let me know. we have this fair value gap here, right? I marked it out. Let's see what this fair value gap does. No, give me a trade idea. Why price is doing something like this? Clear, clear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the answer, chat. Okay, it's all pure knowledge here, no strings attached. I'm not promoting anyone. I'm not promoting any other concept. It's all pure ICT knowledge. When your mentor tells you only to learn from him, why are you going somewhere else and learning something else? Don't do that. Okay, so that's the fair value gap that I want to see price hold, and we have these equal lows right here. Okay, where does it mostly make sense for price to go? Let's see. Let's put price with our logic. Price offered sell side liquidity here. Price offered sell side liquidity in these lows here, right? And price rejected from this fair value gap aggressively. So let's see what price does. If price is coming down and taking out this equal low, then our trade will be very confusing, you know, because we have a relative equal lows down here. If price was going up and clearing this liquidity, this equal high, then it would have been a very clean trade idea, right? That's what I was looking at. That's what I was expecting for price to do, but let's see what price does. Anyway, we don't get sad if price does not present something in front of us, okay? Because I don't know about you, but I know every day there are 4 times that price presents a breaker block setup. Okay, I just need that setup to be clean. If I don't see a clean setup, I'm not executing. Aaron is saying at 820 your setup was formed, but breaker block didn't take liquidity, rather the liquidity was taken before macro. I took that trade from 33,360 to 34. Yes, we did the same thing live on US 500 because US 500 showed a clean setup compared to US 30, right? So what Adam is saying is he took a trade with this breaker block, but I did not because it's not matching with my time. It's not matching with my zone. It's not like I just see a setup and then I engage. No, I'm not gonna trade in the time period where I lost most of my money in this time period, 835 to 920, and before 820. My most of the losing trade that I faced was before 8 and after 8:30. Logic is favoring sell side liquidity. Logic is favoring buy side liquidity. Shoe hell. I want to see this equal high getting taken out. Okay, because we got support from this imbalance. Do you see it? And price rejected from this fair value gap. Okay, so but price took a swing high right here. And if you go on US 500, you will see that the thing that I told you just a couple of minutes ago, I told you that I wanna see price. Why US 500 is so clear today and US 30 is choppy. Okay, well, I told you that I want to see price does something like this, right? Do you remember? So price did that, and price is also rejecting from this fair value gap again. Do you see price closing a candle's body below the midway here? No. So what do we expect? Price to remain heavy, but let's see what price does. Price also generated equal lows down below, down here, and we have relatively equal lows down here. Two lows, low, low. Okay, let's see what price does. We all are learning. Okay, so far I'm happy with my today's analysis. So far, I expected this move. Before the live started, I saw it. I started the live after I was looking at this setup, and price did exactly what I was hoping here. Then price expanded higher. Let's see what price does now. Where is premium now? Who is asking? Where is it? Okay, I don't know how to spell your name, but our premium zone is right here. This is our premium zone. This is price tapped into a premium zone, right? Okay, I'm talking a lot and I'm not looking at other time frames. Let's focus on US30 and let's see what price is doing on 5-minute chart. We have this big fair value gap right here on 5-minute. Right? It's 9:11. We have 10 minutes until our macro, but I'm not gonna take the trade because I don't see a clean setup here. We have a breaker block here, right? And price took the liquidity. For me, it's not clean enough to take this trade because I wanted to see this equal high get taken out. But anyway, let's focus on what price is doing. So we have this relative equal lows down here. We have relative equal low down here too. Why you mark just 2 candles of breaker block? Why not third candle? Oh my god, the same question again and again. Because that's the midway of the fair value gap, okay? That's the midway of the breaker block. If price is closing a candle's body above the midway of the breaker block, right? Then we don't want then our trade idea is most probably wrong. So that's the reason why I'm only marking the last 2 down close candle. Kevin is saying look for fair value gap on the Asian session on NQY. Let me know the reason why. You are just saying, you are just sharing something, an idea, and you are not explaining why should I do that. Look for fair value gap on the Asian session on NQ. Why should I look for a fair value gap on Asian session NQ? That's the first time I'm hearing something like this, you know. This knowledge is new to me. Enlighten me. Why should I look at it Q? And their Asian session fair value gap? Why? Kevin, let me know. NAS 100. Someone is saying he's looking at NAS 100. Let's look at NASDAQ. Unicorn setup. Huh? Yes. Wow, NAS took the liquidity. Yes, right. I told you guys like this equal low. Price is taking out this equal low. And on NASDAQ, I can see a breaker block. Wow, so does that mean, chat, we are expecting higher, right? Let's see what US30 is doing. Then why is US30 moving lower? It's a correlative pair, right? Let's see what it does. Anyway, on US 500, let's put our second chart here. That's US 500. I want to see US 100 too. What was it doing? Usually I don't look at US 100, but someone is saying from chat that okay, you guys look at a lot of information. I don't trade with a lot of information. I only look at US30, then I'm only looking at US 500. US 100, I barely look at this pair because when you look at all of this pair, it makes you confused as I'm only trading on US30, right? I want all of my stuff very simple. So I don't like this price action. It's not doing what I wanted. I want to see. It's doing something else. But anyway, when it's doing something else, we still know what it's gonna do. If it's closing a candle's body below this fair value gap, okay, we have a high impact news. So high impact news means high volatility. So let's see what price does. If price was going up, then I would have saw a trade idea, right? How is that a breaker block on NAS? Okay, unknown legend is asking, how is that? It's a 3-minute chart gone 1 minute. Do you see the breaker block? That swing high took this swing low, right? Took these relative equal lows. Let me zoom in for you. Do you see these relative equal lows down here, right? So what swing took it? This swing high took the took the what? Took the relative equal lows. So that's a breaker block. And before that, we can see, as we are on 1 minute chart, we can see another breaker block right here, right? But then let's not do our analysis on every chart, okay? If you are trading on US 100, trade on US 100. I'm looking at US 30 and US 500, and I don't care about what NAS is doing. NAS looks opposite of the idea that I'm sharing. NAS is offering buy side, and okay, let's talk a little bit about NAS. We have these relative equal highs right here, right? So if Nasdaq is offering buy side liquidity right here, then it matches with our trade idea on US 30. Let's see what happens. It's 9:17. We have a macro at 9:20, right? Let me mark out our macro zones. 9:20 to 9:30. In between that time, we look for a setup. Let's go on 1 minute chart, 3-minute chart. Okay, we can see a setup. We can see this 5-minute breaker block getting activated. We have a stop hunt right here, right? I'm not taking this trade, by the way. Stop hunt. It does not match with my trade idea. I'm just outlining what's happening. So okay, price did a stop hunt. We can see our breaker block, but it's not valid until it closes a candle's body below the breaker block and time is matching with our trade idea, right? That's the period. That's the 9:20 to 9:30. That's the period. You want to look for a setup. Do you see a setup at 9:20 to 9:30? Where is our target? These relative equal lows. Okay, let me draw the breaker block structure for you. It's always the same structure, folks. Price creates a swing high, then price comes down, price generates equal low, as sell side liquidity, as strong sell side liquidity, okay? Then price generates another swing low, price expand higher, then price takes out this swing high, right? If you know what is a breaker block, you know what I'm talking about. Price takes out a swing high, right? That's our stop hunt. And as soon as price goes below the last down close candles from this swing, we execute and we target the relative equal lows down below. It's always the same. Price always generates equal lows. The thing is, you don't know when to look for these equal lows to get taken out. Do you see how structured my model is? I'm only looking at certain time periods for price to do one single thing. I'm not looking at fair value gap. I'm not looking at water block. I'm only looking at breaker block to get activated. And do you see the breaker block here? Yes. But it does not match with my trade idea. We have equal high here. And then we have equal high here. And price did not close the candle's body below the breaker block. So nothing yet, right? Okay, so is it clear for you, unknown legend? I forgot to ask you, like, do you understood why it's a breaker block that I marked? Okay, so let's see what price does. Price did not close the candle's body below the breaker block. Remember that. So I'm just watching. You know, if I was not live trading right now, if I wasn't live, I would have just listening to a music or like do something else rather than just watching this price section, because we have a 10 o'clock high impact news, right? So also that, and we don't have a clean setup yet. Stop loss, I'm seeing bar count saying stop loss above equal high or stop unit. That's a lot of risk that you are taking. If you are entering at this breaker block and you are putting your stop loss, okay, suppose you enter right here. Suppose that you are not patient, you took a trade and you put your stop loss above here. Then you are doing something that a retail is doing. Okay, you are risking a lot and you are placing a trade idea based on retail logic. We want to see this equal high getting taken out and then we can plan for a trade. Okay, we can see a setup and it's not valid yet, and we don't want to place I'm not going to place a setup trade today in this setup, in this price action. I don't like it. I wanted to see this equal high getting taken out and then maybe, yeah, but not now. Nana Kewami, your model helped me 140 points on US30 on Thursday. Okay, so you are sharing your winnings with me. Thank you for that. But when you lose, don't come here and tell me like you lose because of me, because I'm not giving you any kind of trade advice. I'm just outlining the setup. Okay, I'm helping you to see what I see. You are here to see what I do. So that's what I do every day. Okay, so did price close the candle's body below this breaker block? It did not. Right? It's chopping. We are inside of our macro zone, by the way. 9:20 to 9:30 is the time period I tell you to look for a setup. Setup is here, but it's not clear. Okay, it's not presenting itself as a clean setup. I want a clean setup and then I execute. In this choppiness, I can see the setup. I outlined it for you, but that's not what I want to see, right? And it's not valid yet. It price did not close the candle's body below the breaker block. Okay, thank you. If we're learning, then that's what I want to see, you know. I want to see like you guys getting benefited of my ideas. I'm not teaching you something new here. I'm only repeating what I learned from my mentor, okay? And what my experience gave me. So I'm not teaching you anything here. You are not learning anything from me. You are just experiencing what I see on chart, okay? We all have different experience. We all see charts differently. Do you live in Ukraine? No, I don't live in Ukraine. I live in Canada. I live in Montreal, Quebecois. Comment ça va, tu trade? Okay, Josh is asking, do you know how to identify fair value gaps that will be left unfilled? Yes, but price will have to create a fair value gap like that. We don't have a fair value gap right here, but we have a fair value gap right here. If this breaker block is valid, I don't want to see this fair value gap getting filled, okay? But if it's not valid, it's not valid yet, right? Price did not close the candle's body below the breaker block. So let's see what price does. If price is coming up and taking out this liquidity, I'll take a trade at 950 to 1010. I'm not trusting the 930 macro yet, but let's see what it does. Talk in Canadian. No. Should the stop hunt and the close below or above the breaker block all be in the macro time? In macro time, you look for this setup. You look for a stop hunt and you look for a candle's body closure below the breaker block. How to trade implied fair value gap? I don't trade implied fair value gap. Okay, just because ICT is sharing something new with you, it doesn't mean that you have to implant the trade idea in your trading. No, I don't see any implied fair value gap here, and it's a very complex concept. You know, implied fair value gap. The implied fair value gap is something like this. You see a candle, right? And the candle closes with 2 weeks, something like this. Like the candle crosses, sorry, I'm saying crosses the candle in the middle, and then you measure the wick of the candle, and then the 50% of the wick is your fair value gap. That's a lot of things to do, you know, and it's not common in chart. You see the normal fair value gap more than you see a implied fair value gap. Hi, Vilvab Patel is asking, how often it happens that you miss entry on your trades during macros? If I'm missing an entry on macro, I don't care because I know it repeats. I'm in Montreal too. Kevin, in Montreal where? Okay, I think it's too much to ask someone's location or sharing my location in live, right? Let's see what US 500 is doing. Wow, Nasdaq just rejected and created another level of equal high. Today, today, because I'm looking at Nasdaq, it's getting confusing to me because my trade idea is to go short, right? We have a higher time frame liquidity level that I marked, like this red line that you see. That's our 60-minute equal high, and above that, this black line on 33,577. That's a swing high, right, on daily chart. So we want to see these two levels getting taken out, but as we are trading as a scalper, we see for now a setup on short. So let's see what price does. It's 928, and what US 500 is doing is took out the liquidity here. It hit the breaker block. Wow, US 500 is so clear today. Why? Look at it. It's doing the exact same thing I'm telling you, right? I told you that I want to see something like this. Do you remember? Something like this, right? And it's doing on US 500, S&P 500, but why it's not doing something like this on US 30? Okay, so it's rejected from this fair value gap. I don't want to see this fair value gap hold price. I want to see price going smashing through this fair value gap. This fair value gap that you see here. Okay, I want to see price going aggressively towards sell side. Okay, let's see what price does. Okay, when you measure the fair value gap like this, you become confident in your trade. Look at the wicks of the candle's body. From where is it rejecting? It came all the way up, then it rejected from 0.5, right? Then very next candle closed the candle's body below. Okay, it's 9:30. Wow, let's see, let's see. See, I told you the people who are who took this trade before the breaker block got activated are now in a loss. Because for a breaker block to get activated, we want to see price close a candle's body below this, right? Okay, price rejected from this fair value gap aggressively, and our this breaker block is still valid. Okay, we just want to see price close a candle's body. Price is expanding higher. Okay, I can see a trade idea here at 950 to 1010. I don't see a trade idea right now, but at 950 I can see a trade idea. But let's see what this candle does. This 930 candle. That's the very reason I tell you to enter a trade after price closes the candle's body below the breaker block. US30 is creating three diverse pattern. Look at 5 minute. What is three diverse pattern? Bro, I appreciate that you are saying something to me, but I don't know what a three drives pattern. I don't know what it is. Well, at least I never heard ICT saying it, so you should not say something that ICT is not mentioning. I don't care about three driven driver patterns. ICT teaches three drives pattern. Okay, share it with us on Telegram. After we finish the live session, share it. I would like to watch what he talks about on three driven patterns, because to me, that's a strong level of liquidity, right? I want to see price rejecting from this level of liquidity and then go down. Okay, he did talk about it. Yes, ICT called it Indians, lol. He said it though. ICT does mention the three drives pattern, three failure swing low. ICT used to teach it in his first years. Okay, I don't know about it. If you know about it, then share it with me. ICT calls power of three. Oh, okay, the power of three. I know that, but I don't know the three drives pattern. Okay, let's see what is unknown legend. Yeah. But you are confusing, okay? Unknown legend. You are sharing a knowledge that I'm not talking about here. What I wanna see is simple. Power of three, three swing failure. I don't care about that. I wanna see a candle's body closure below this swing low, below this breaker block. Until then, it doesn't matter. There's a power of three accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Yes, I understand that. I can see that, but it's not necessary, right? It's extra knowledge. What I want to see is price close a candle's body below the breaker block. Bro, you don't have to be sorry, okay? uh, I'm, I'm, I'm eager to learn new things, but I'm only looking for only one setup. I only focus on one setup, and do share the three three dive pattern on Telegram. Okay, I guess you are on Telegram, unknown. So please do share the video where ICT talks about the three drives pattern. I want to see that, because I heard him talking about the power of three, but three dives pattern, I don't remember that. So let's see what he talks about there. But its price is very volatile, and it's 934. Okay, so that's how you make yourself safe. Okay, price did not close the candle's body below the breaker block, and you do not engage. Let's see what US 500 is doing. US 500. Wow. So US 500 cleared the swing high, the liquidity up here, right? Let's see where's the our nearest level of liquidity. It's on here. I'm on 1 hourly chart, by the way, and our nearest level of liquidity on US 500 is right here at 4,100. 4,100. Let's see if price rejects from this. If price is taking out this buy side liquidity before the high impact news, then I can expect to see a setup, right, at the 950 to 1010 macro. Also remember, we have a high impact news on 950 to 1010. Okay, so do you see price closing a candle's body below this breaker block? No. So do we engage? No. So what price is doing? Price is doing the exact very thing I wanna see. Price is generating more. Okay, so unknown legend told me about this breaker block, and I told you guys that I don't like this breaker block here. And the pattern that is forming right now, I like this pattern. This relative equal lows that you see, and price is doing the exact very thing that I wanted to see before 9:30. But anyway, it's doing it, so I'm happy. I want to see price taking out the liquidity like this and coming down. I'm really confident in this trade because of the equal lows that you see right here. Let's see what price does. Let's look at US 500. Yes, US 500 is taking out the major liquidity pool, 4,100. Let's get it. Let's give it to us, price. And our macro is incoming, right? 950 to 1010. Before that, is price is expanding lower and this breaker block gets activated. I'm not taking this trade. I'm only gonna push my button at 950 to 1010 in between that time. Okay, what unknown legend is saying, a failure swing is where you are expecting a reversal. This is a reversal pattern confirmation combined with PD array. If I simply put that without saying the three drivers pattern, why is it so complex to me to say? That's a premium PD array. I don't need three driver pattern to know that that's a premium PD array, right? That's a swing high, and that's a relative swing high. That's a very strong premium PD array. And that price just took it. Now I want to see price expanding lower, okay, in between 950 to 1010. Until then, price can expand as much as it wants. Okay, so on US 30, let's go on 60-minute chart. Do you see this red line? What is this red line? This red line is our nearest pool of liquidity. Do you see the equal low, equal high right here? Yes, so that's the nearest level of liquidity on US 30. And we just went above. Okay, so if you were watching the live that I did yesterday about the bias, okay, what did I tell you? Price closed the candle's body above the breaker block, sorry, above the mid level of the fair value gap. So what I want to see, price remain heavy towards buy side and offer buy side in these two levels. Do you remember? Who watched my live session on daily bias yesterday? Let me know on chat. I want to see. Yes, so that's how you know when a fair value gap will work, right? So that's a knowledge people don't share for free, okay? Everyone knows it. Every successful ICT trader knows it, but they have a private mentorship to share this knowledge, okay? Anyway, I'm doing it for you here for free. I shared my daily bias analysis yesterday live, and it's doing the same exact thing that I'm showing it to you here. Okay, so I deserve a thumbs up, right? Give me a thumbs up. I want to see 200 likes. After that, I'm telling you what price is gonna do. Until then, I'm not telling anything. 200, 200. Let's do it. Wow, you guys are hungry for knowledge. I love it. Okay, so our nearest drawn liquidity on this 33,497. You can say 33,500. And I showed you why is it our nearest drawn liquidity. Because of the equal high. Let's go on US 500. I'm doing analysis on every chart for you. Before price took this liquidity right here, I told you that's our nearest draw on liquidity, right? So let's go on 3-minute chart and let's see what price is doing. On 3-minute, that's a lot of noise. I want my chart to look clean. I guess I'm the first ICT trader who is whose live sessions are so clean, right? Okay. So price just took the draw on liquidity, the swing high on 60-minute that I told you on US 500. And do we have a relative equal low? Yes, down here. When I started the session this morning, I told you our draw on liquidity for this morning that I'm looking at this section of price, these relative equal lows, right? I want to see price coming down and taking out this liquidity, but let's wait for our setup. I'm waiting for 950 to 1010. And wow, US30. Look at US30. That's my beast. That's the very reason I trade US30, okay? Look at US30, how aggressively it expanding towards buy side and taking out this relative equal highs on 60-minute chart. Right, it's expanding aggressively. And it's doing the same exact thing that I told you it will do. I told you one very thing. Our drawn liquidity on sell side yesterday, but we will look for setup after price takes out these relative equal highs. So I'm just gonna sit down right now patiently and wait for my setup to happen. I wanna see this swing high getting taken out, this relative equal high. Okay, let's look at Dixie. A lot of people are talking about Dixie. Dollar, what are you doing? Dollar expanding lower. I want to see this relative equal low getting taken out before our macro starts. I want everything clean, okay? This relative equal low, I want to see it getting taken out. And then we can expect to see price expand higher, right? And it matches with our trade idea on US30. If we are seeing dollar expanding higher, then what do we expect? Here, as we have relative equal lows. You know what we are expecting, right? It's very clean. We just need a breaker block right now. Let's look at 3-minute chart. There's no breaker block. There's no setup here yet. Wow, if price does not give me a setup and price is coming down and taking out this relative equal lows, I'll be very sad today because that's a very clean setup to me. I want to take it. Let's see what it does. Shorts fired? Someone is saying describe. Describe. Shots fired. Okay, I thought you were saying you took a short. I was like, what the hell? Price is expanding aggressively and you took a short? The people who are taking shorts right here, they are the retails, okay? Wow, a retail logic paint out here, right? Do you see it? Uh, you can see a 3 bottom, right? Triple bottom. That's what retail says. So price came down to their zone and price expanded higher. and I'm looking for a trade to target these relative equal lows. So where retail enters, we target that zone. Dixie doing what? Why Dixie is not volatile like US30? Or is it volatile? Well, it's volatile, right? Compared to the moves. But it's always dollar on lower time frame is always on high resistance liquidity run. Today on US30, that's a low resistance liquidity run, right? Price is moving towards targets aggressively without chopping around. So that's a low resistance liquidity run, and that's a very high condition scenario. Even though we have a high impact news at 10. But who cares? It's PMI. I traded PMI before. I made profits on PMI, but I lost a lot of money on CPI. When I was trading retail with Ichimoku Cloud, because Ichimoku Cloud, it does not tell you, like, right, to avoid CPI. And the folk that I was learning from, Ichimoku, he was like always making money on CPI days. I never knew how he was executing using Ichimoku and making money on CPI till today. But the thing is, that dude I'm telling you about, that dude was teaching since like 4 years, and he is nowhere near the followers that I have right now. Like on Twitter, he only has 30 followers, and he's using Ichimoku. I should not make jokes about people. Okay, so we are expanding higher. That's the very reason we wait. I wait for my macro zone. Okay, in my macro zone, price gives me setup. Until then, price manipulates. Okay, so this morning I shared when not to trade. Okay, 8:35 to 9:20. That's the period you do not trade. And then 9:20 to 9:30. If you miss a setup and if you don't see a setup till 9:20 to 9:35, you do not execute after that. You wait for 9:50 to 10:10 setup to paint out. Okay, so our next draw on liquidity is this daily swing high. Okay, the people who are watching me and who are new and who haven't watched the last live session that I did yesterday about the bias, okay, you don't need a lot of information to decide your bias. See, I shared my bias with you, and you are looking at the exact same thing here painting out. I will take you guys on weekly chart. Okay, so our nearest drawn liquidity is this right here. That's the weekly chart. I shared with you the bias yesterday. So I'm expecting price to go up there and then reject, as we have a fair value gap right here. Do you see a fair value gap? It's a weekly fair value gap. But I do not need price to come all the way down here to make me profitable. I only need price to take out these relative equal lows or these lows. That's all I need. I only need 2R, and I'll make more than you are making with your 10R. Okay, so let's see what US Dixie, our drawn liquidity is on these relative equal lows, right? Where the retails put their stop loss. Bias. Yes, without bias, it doesn't matter if you are a scalper or somebody else, right? Long-term trader, we all need bias. If you don't know how to see where the drawn liquidity is, your trade idea, it doesn't matter. If you are using a breaker block or fair value gap, you don't paint out. You need to know where the drawn liquidity is. You need to know where our bias is. So we are expanding higher. I'm just watching price for now. I don't see any setup. Let's see what US30. Okay, do you see how it matches with my analysis on US30? Like the dollar gonna take out the low. and US30 gonna take out the high, and then dollar gonna expand higher. US30 is gonna go lower. That's what I'm expecting. Let's see what price does. Let's look at US 500. Wow, US 500 is still offering more buy side liquidity. Let's go on 4-hour chart. Without higher time frame narrative, our analysis is not valid. We have an equal high right here, right? Do you see the equal high? This it's on ES. So my friends who are trading on ES, let's look at this equal high. Keep that equal high in mind. Okay, that's a clean level. The high of this candle, let's see if it's the high of this candle comes at 4,132, and the high of this candle comes at 40.85, so it's lower than the candle next to it, right? So that's a relative equal high. Let's see what price does. Price took a swing high. If we go on a 60-minute chart, we can see the price took a swing high. We have relative equal lows down below. So let's see what price does. Our analysis is clear. We just need a clean setup right now. Okay, so that's how you improve, folks. You don't need me to tell you where to enter. Okay, if you know what setup you are looking for, and if you know where you want to place your trade, when you want to place your trade, everything else becomes clear. Okay, you don't need me to tell you place your enter your trade here, put your stop loss here. No, you will know that. Go check the 1 minute time frame. What's happening on 1 minute time frame? On 1 minute time frame, I still want to see this black line getting taken out. Our daily swing high, weekly swing high, I want to see that this taking out. Otherwise, I'm not taking this trade because that's a relative equal high, right? I want to see its price taking this level out and clearing it. Wow, look at Dixie. I'm loving Dixie right now. Dixie just took the relative equal lows right here, right? Let's go on the lower time frame. Let's look at 3 minute. So now, where is our draw on liquidity on Dixie? Where's the equal highs? Am I complicating something to you? No. I'm only telling you, I'm only sharing an analysis with breaker block, and I'm only telling you to look for equal highs as a draw on liquidity. So we have this clean level right here, this level. Let me mark it for you. This level that you see, that's all liquidity. So as price took this relative equal lows, we can expect to see price coming up and taking out this relative equal highs. Okay, we are inside of our macro zone. I can see a breaker block. These two down close candles, if price is rejecting from there, that's a breaker block to me. I don't care if it's swing high or swing low. That's a down close candle. That's a breaker block. If you don't see it as a breaker block, get the fuck out of here, or I'll block you. I don't need a lot of people, okay? I don't need to get famous. I want only the people who are interested in learning what I'm showing. Okay, so we have this swing high, price generated equal high. This looks a very clean setup to me. Let's see what price does. I always gamble news and put stop loss and entry, always make around $100. Who is that? Unknown legend. That's very cool, bro. Okay, so let's see what this does. Okay, do you see this breaker block? I see it as a breaker block. I just need price to confirm me by taking out this swing high, and then not expand higher but come lower and close a candle's body below the breaker block. Okay, someone saying I got an anger issue. Yes, of course, I got an anger issue. When you are telling me to do something else, what I only do, like I only look for breaker block, okay? That's a very simple setup to me. This works out to me, but wow, please take out this swing high, then I can execute. I don't want to see a relative equal high. Do you see the swing high right here? That's our buy side liquidity from weekly time frame, right? Okay, so that's a buy side liquidity. And I want to see price take out this swing high. I won't execute if price is not taking out this swing high and then going below this breaker block. I don't want to see that. I want to see price taking out this swing high. I don't like this relative equal high, because if you are executing now, we have a 10 news, 10 o'clock news, right? Price will become volatile. That's the equal high, and price will expand higher, and it will hit your stop loss. Dixie, Dixie. Wow. Look at Dixie. Dixie is doing the thing that I'm telling you. Exact to the point. Draw on liquidity, bro. I'm telling you, price, candle by candle. And it's not like I'm just straight tape reading. I'm telling you, what am I looking for? It's all very clear, right? Check US 100. Let's see what US 100 is doing. US 100. Whoa, US 100 did what? What's happening today? Why is it like this? Why US 30 is not doing the thing I wanna see? That's a breaker block on. And price closed the candle's body below the breaker block. Why? No, what's US 30 is doing? Why Nasdaq and US 500 is so clear today? Dixie, Dixie. I'm loving the reaction on dollar. Okay, we have a fair value gap right here. So if we are targeting this equal highs, we don't want to see price reject from this fair value gap, right? So let's see what price does in this fair value gap. Is it in a premium zone? Why price is rejecting from this fair value gap? Because we have this swing low right here. Let's see what it does. Okay, US 30 looking, it's not looking good to me. I want to see this relative equal highs getting taken out. That's a very strong relative equal high because it matches with our weekly chart. Do you see that's a weekly swing high, right? And see how clean this level is. This swing high, this candle's high. Let's see the high of this candle. This candle's high comes in at 33,577, and this candle's high comes at 33,576. I'm not pushing the button until price takes this equal high. That's a equal high, bro. That's a strong equal high. Okay, let's see on Dixie. What is doing? What are you doing, Dixie? Let's look at US 500. Let's look at US. Wow, price is rejecting very nicely on US 100 on Nasdaq from the breaker block. Right? Let's see what on US. Wow, bro, what's happening with me today? US 500 and 100 is very clear, but let's wait, Let's just wait. Let's focus on US 30 and let's wait for price to clean out. Okay, so it's 10 and we should see a high impact news. We should see a lot of volatility. That's why I don't get scared of PMI. Look at the volatility. You are scared of PMI right now? I'm not. The people who was saying it will blow, it won't blow until we take out this relative equal high. The people who executed on US 500 and on they're getting ripped off right now from this breaker block. That's the reason I choose US 30. Did US 30 close the candle's body below this breaker block? No. Did US 30 close the candle's body below the 5-minute breaker block that I told you guys here? That unknown legend was sharing with us. 5-minute breaker block. Did price close the candle's body below it? No. That's why I trade on US 30. It's clean. It's clear to me. Our new breaker block is right here. The last two up close candle that you see is our breaker block. I want to see price close the candle's body below the breaker block, and we have two breaker blocks here, right? So let's be real, chat. Like, that's a very high confirmation trade. Let's see what it does. I'm not telling you to take this trade, okay? if it turns out to be a loss, I don't care because that's my first trade of the day. Okay, so 363 people are watching right now. Hit the thumbs up, and then I'm telling you what price is doing next. Until then, I'm stopping. Give me 300 likes. Can you make it to 300? We are inside of our 950 to 1010 macro, right? Can we do that, chat? Who is selling? Don't sell. Sono F Light. I'm not selling yet. Let's see if we can get 300 likes. Okay, no candle's body closure below the breaker block. So we are still waiting. Price is expanding higher. What Dixie is doing? Where is Dixie? Wow, Dixie expanded lower. Yeah, that makes sense for Dixie, right? Because Dixie has a swing low right here. Okay, so Dixie dollar is doing something like this. So now I want to see this level getting taken out. Okay. And then we can expect to see price expanding higher. Do we have any relative equal lows? Let's see what price does. Let's look at US 30, 5-minute. In 5-minute, there's no setup. What price is doing on 15-minute? Okay, US 5, US 30. 1-minute chart, 1-minute, 3-minute. In 3-minute, do we see a breaker block? Yes. That's a breaker block on 3-minute. Let's go on 1-minute. In 1-minute, it's way clear, right? So these two down close candles, that is our breaker block. I want to see price close a candle's body below the breaker block. Until then, I'm not executing or I'm not taking a trade. No short. We are not shorting yet. We are waiting for price to close a candle's body below the breaker block. Okay. And this price action is inside our macro 950 to 1010. So it's 10:05. We still have 5 minutes. And I'll still watch like till 10:15. And in 10 minutes, if price is not presenting me a setup, okay, I'm just gonna avoid trading today and I'll stop the live session. Let's see. This is our last trade idea. Okay, after that I'm closing. So far we did not took any loss. That's the main thing. Okay, do you see how price did not close the candle's body below the breaker block? How price did not give us a false signal on US30, but on US 100 and on US 500 it gave a false signal. It closed the candle's body below the breaker block, and right, but on US30 I told you guys it generated equal high paired with the weekly swing high. So I wanted to see it getting taken out, and it did exactly like this. Someone from chat was saying me to check the chart from Paperstone. Paperstone is bullshit. Currency.com is where you want to check the chart. Okay, I'm using a lot of words that I should not use on live. Sorry for that. Stop hunt in ES. ES, what is ES doing? ES, do we see SMT? Yes, we see SMT. Yes, on 1 minute chart on ES. That's our breaker block. We did a stop hunt, right? That's our stop hunt. And everything is aligning with our analysis. Time is aligning. It's inside of our macro. So let's see. We are waiting for a candle's body closure below the breaker block. Do we count with the breaker? You are blocked. I'm blocking you. We do not do any cloud counting here. Remove. Okay. Okay, so I want to see a candle's body closure below this breaker block. Until then, I'm not executing. I'm waiting. What is US 500 doing? Did US 500 close the candle's body below the breaker block? No. We do not need a market structure shift with breaker block, because with with breaker block a market structure shift happens. It comes with the breaker block, okay? Because as soon as price is closing a candle's body below the breaker block, what is happening? A market structure shift, because that's a swing low. So basically, when you are executing with a breaker block, you are predicting the market structure shift. Are we gonna expand higher today? Even if you're like buying, I don't know why some people are buying right now. What is Dixie doing? Chat, is it choppy because it's a Monday? Like, you will always hear ICT telling us he avoid trading on Monday, right? Anyway, our macro zone is over. So far, whatever I told you, it happened and you saw it live. Painting out. It's not choppy, but it's not presenting the things that I want to see, right? Why are you here? You are here to see me execute on a breaker block in macro zones, right? So if price don't present me a setup, And if price is not confirming my trade idea, why would I take a trade idea? Instead of trading, you watching charts. US30 Legend FX. He's a retail. 10. I'm just gonna wait 5 more minutes because we cleared our buy side liquidity, right, chat? Like I told you guys, when price was right at the bottom, I want to see price take out this equal high yesterday. I told you yesterday, not today, not even today. So price took these relative equal highs, these swing highs. So I want to see price close a candle's body below the breaker block, and then I can execute. I'm gonna give this market 5 more minutes to close a candle's body below the breaker block. Let me outline the breaker block. Okay, so this breaker block makes more sense to me, but we have a breaker block here. Let's go on higher time frame. Let's see. Let's see on 3 minute. On 3 minute, that's a breaker block on 3 minutes. So I'm gonna enter once price closes a candle's body below this level on 1 minute. Okay, so 3 minute chart. That's a breaker block that I see. Someone is saying it's not a breaker block. That's not a breaker block. Ken, why? Explain me on the chat. Check your daily chart and you will see the order block. We have a breaker block on daily. Well, I guess you were not on the live session that I did yesterday. That's a breaker block. Okay, I outlined it to you yesterday. That's the very reason I'm bearish on US30, even though I told you where's the drawn liquidity is. So that's a breaker block, and price should not close a candle's body below the above the midway level of breaker block. Okay, so let's see what price does. We are inside of a breaker block on US30. Wow, that's the reason I love US30, you know. The US30 is not closing a candle's body below the breaker block. Okay, Chad, let me know. Did you see US30 close a candle's body below the breaker block and then it failed? No, but but the other pairs did. US 500, US 100, they did did close a candle's body below the breaker block and then they failed. That's why I love US30. When it manipulates, you know, that's the pair I know, you know. That's the pair I've been trading for years. Only one pair. I know how it's gonna move, how it should move, when I should avoid. Macro timing extension. Okay, you wait till 5 minutes. Okay, if like suppose we have a macro at 8:20 to 8:30. I have a macro. I wait till 8:35. Okay, after that I know price manipulates, so I do not execute. So you give it a time for like 5 minutes extra. Okay, if you do a lot of back testing on this concept, on this breaker block concept or this macro concept, then you will see like after 5 minutes price sometimes presents the setup, but here it did not. So I'm gonna close the trade. I'm gonna close the session here today, guys. I hope you guys found this insightful. Okay, so let's review before I close what I told you. I told you on US 500 what price is gonna do. It did exactly the same thing. I gave you one indication. It's not a mixed analysis that I'm telling you too many things and one thing is painting out. No, I showed you a breaker block this morning, right? And price did exactly the same thing in this breaker block. Do you guys remember? Price did a stop hunt here, right? And then I outlined the breaker block right here, and price was here. I told you to look at it, measure it, right? If price is not closing a candle's body above the midway level of fair value gap, when it's coming back and retracing, right? Then you can expect a strong short. And what price did? Price hit our target level. Price filled the imbalance, right? I gave you two targets: this imbalance, then this sell side liquidity, and now price is just swapping it out. If price does not give me a setup, am I gonna force it? The people who force the setup and people who are complaining, they are retail. Okay, anyway, guys, I hope I loved the session, and I love to do another live session tomorrow. But let's see what price presents to us. Till then, take care, and I'll catch you guys on my next live session. I hope you learned, like the main reason for me to do this, to show you how I trade and how to look in price. Okay, so anyway, guys, take care. Have a nice weekend, weekdays, trading days. Take care. Bye.